Kyrie Irving, one of the most popular and electrifying players in the NBA, whether it's his shoe brand, crossovers, or highlight reel plays. Kyrie Irving is one of the most popular players in the league, but on August 22nd, 2017, the Cleveland Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, and 2018 first-round pick from the Brooklyn Nets. This trade package would end up becoming an absolute disaster for the Cavaliers, as Isaiah Thomas would not be the star player that they thought he would be, and LeBron James had to carry this team. The team would finish as only a 4 seed, and LeBron James would leave the team in the 2018 offseason. As for the Celtics, well, Kyrie Irving could never get them to a lot of success, as in his 2 seasons there, he only played half his season in 17 to 18 season due to an injury, and in the 18 to 19 season, even though he played a good amount of the season, he had a big rift with the young players that caused the team to disappoint. With that being said, when people look back at this trade, people view it as a lose-lose trade. Kyrie Irving would leave the Celtics in the 2019 offseason. Let's talk about this trade and why it went down. But before we get started, please press the like button if you guys do enjoy the video, as it really helps the channel. And also, please subscribe if you do watch my videos consistently and if you're a fan of the NBA or the NFL. With that being said, let's get started and let's look back at this trade. Now let's hop into our make-believe time machine and go back to the 16 to 17 season. Anyways, Isaiah Thomas is one of the best point guards in the league, leading the Celtics to a 53-win season that clinches them the 1 seed in a weak Eastern Conference. Well, yeah, I guess so. Anyways, he had a season where he put up 29 points, 6 assists, shooting 46% from the field, 38% from 3, and in the playoffs, he sadly suffered a hip injury that caused him to miss 3 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now let's head to Cleveland, the team that beat the Boston Celtics. They had just come off their famous 2016 championship and were looking to defend their title. They won only 51 games in the regular season. It was clear that there's chemistry issues. Anyways, they made the finals in that year, but lost in 5 to the Warriors. In that offseason, there was heavy rumors that Kyrie Irving wanted to have a bigger role on a team, and that's why chemistry issues were there, as he wished to be a number 1 option. And he requested a trade eventually, and on August 22nd, he got his dream. At the time, the trade package Cleveland got did not seem too bad. I mean, they got a good replacement for a Kyrie Irving, and Isaiah Thomas. He could do a lot of things Kyrie Irving could do offensively. Shoot the ball, play make, or score. Whatever it was, Isaiah Thomas was a good replacement for Kyrie Irving, even if he wasn't as good. Next up, we got Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was a good defender and was also an alright 3-point shooter. Ante Zizic was a decent backup center they got, and the first-round pick they got would be very valuable, as the Brooklyn Nets were known as one of the worst teams in the league at the time. Anyways, this did not totally work out, as we all know. The hip injury that Isaiah Thomas suffered really killed his athleticism, and this athleticism really allowed him to be that good of a player as he was, as he was very speedy and allowed him to get to the basket a lot, and he could also create shots for himself. This didn't allow him to be as good of a shot creator or get to the basket, which really killed a lot of his scoring. And because of that, he couldn't be the star that he was in Cleveland. Not only that, but, well, the star he was in Boston, not Cleveland. Okay, anyways, with that being said, the Boston coaching system was also very beneficial to Isaiah Thomas, as he is only 5'8" to 5'9". I'm sure some of you guys are taller than him. I mean, my brother's about his height, I think. Anyways, with that being said, Isaiah Thomas was still, my God, I cannot find my words. Anyway, okay, Isaiah Thomas was, just not the same as he was before, and Cleveland's coaching system was not good enough for Isaiah Thomas. As he got there, they really just expected him to be able to create his own shot, when Boston's system really just helped him a lot. And as for the Cavaliers, well, because Isaiah Thomas was not the star that he was, now LeBron James was all by himself and was the only star on the team. This Cleveland team was known for having a toxic locker room, as Isaiah Thomas did not have a great relationship with LeBron James, and in January, Cleveland really did not have a great month. And a lot of memes went out about how LeBron James was the general manager and how he was going to trade the entire team and a lot of other things like that. The Cavaliers would only finish as a 4 seed, and during that trade deadline, they'd deal away Kyrie Irving. My God, I'm messing up. Sorry, my mouth's dry. Anyways, Isaiah Thomas would be dealt to the Los Angeles Lakers. Jay Crowder would be dealt to the Utah Jazz. Dwayne Wade would be dealt to the Miami Heat. And Iman Shumpert would be dealt to the Sacramento Kings. This team would eventually finish as a 4 seed, as I said before, and LeBron James would go on an amazing playoff run and would lead the Cavaliers all the way to the finals. However, they could not stand a chance, as the Warriors team they faced was way too talented, and LeBron James could not take on them. With that being said, the Cavaliers would get swept, and LeBron James would leave in the 2018 offseason. Now you might be wondering, but Rahul, the first round pick. Well, yeah, the first round pick was valuable. However, it was not as valuable as the people thought it would be, as the Nets were not as bad as people thought they would be that season. And it turned into Colin Sexton. While Colin Sexton has still been a decent young player, the Cleveland Cavaliers have been trash ever since LeBron James left, unsurprisingly. Anyways, with that being said, let's go a little bit more east to the Boston Celtics. When the Celtics got Kyrie Irving, they were still expected to be a very good team and could be a threat to teams like the Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, plus good young guys in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. What else could you want? Plus Al Horford. Well, the thing is, Gordon Hayward would suffer a scary broken leg in the season opener against the Cavaliers. Well, kind of ironically, I guess. Anyways, he would suffer a broken leg in that season opener. Kyrie Irving would suffer a season-ending injury too in January. And even though Boston was the 2 seed, people really doubted them, as they did not have both their stars. However, they won an amazing playoff run, as guys like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Marcus Morris. Yeah, no, there's a lot of guys, but a lot of them would step up and would lead the Boston Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they would take LeBron's Cavs to 7 games. With that being said, after this playoff run, people really expected this Celtics team to be the team to beat in the East. They looked like an amazing team. Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward was back, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, Marcus Morris. Well, the thing is, even though they had all these guys, it did not work out. As the one big problem they had is they had a lot of mouths to feed, as this playoff run did increase a lot of the players' egos, and they wanted a lot of shots to be taken by them. Not only that, but Kyrie Irving had a rift with the young players, and this was not especially bad to the chemistry, as he was a toxic locker room presence, as he felt the young players were not being good, and he even called LeBron James on how to deal with the young players and would apologize to LeBron James that year too. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown felt that they could do good without Kyrie Irving, and that Kyrie Irving was not needed, as in the games that they played without Kyrie Irving, they were still a very good team. And one famous time where that showcased Kyrie Irving's relationship with his teammates deteriorating. My God, I cannot say that word. Anyways, it was against the Orlando Magic, and the Celtics missed a game-winning shot, and they would eventually lose the game. Kyrie Irving would go to Brad Stevens arguing, trying to tell him that he should have drawn up a play for him rather than Jason Tatum. Eventually, Boston would only win 49 games, and they would finish as the 4 seed. They would sweep the Indiana Pacers. However, there was a good chance they could have lost that series, since Indiana was playing without their star, Victor Oladipo. And in the second round, they would lose to the Bucks after beating them in 5 games. With that being said, Kyrie Irving would leave in the 2019 offseason for the Brooklyn Nets, and that would be the end of the Kyrie Irving trade. Now, Now, what do I think of this trade? I would have to say it's probably a lose-lose trade just based off how the results with Kyrie Irving turned out. But if I had to pick a winner for this trade, it would probably be the Boston Celtics. If you ask me, the Celtics still managed to be good after this trade, as they were able to get Kemba Walker in the 2019 offseason, who is still a great player and was a much better leader compared to Kyrie Irving. This year they've been very good, as they currently sit as the second seed in the Eastern Conference. And not only that, but if you ask me, Kyrie Irving also kind of helped the Celtics, as Isaiah Thomas would most likely only have like 2 more solid years in Boston, and assuming they would give him a max contract, if he fizzled out while he had his contract, he could eventually be one of those players with one of the worst contracts in the league. So if you ask me, this was beneficial to the Celtics too at the same time. Whatever it was, when people look back at this trade, they'll look back at this as mostly a lose-lose trade that no team really won. With that being said, that's it for today's video. Make sure you guys subscribe as always and also like the video. With that being said, you guys, though, I'm out.